Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the best music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio.
And I'm Aegis on Levity of the Turbine Group.
Did you know that there is an actual lake called Greg Lake?
Yes.
I want to visit it. I want to go skinny dipping in it. Or as we northerners call it, chunky dunking.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another legit album review. As we celebrate another anniversary, more on that in a minute. The sun is out, the birds are chirping. I spanked my monkey like Beavis does. What more could you ask for? Alright, so Aegis, a quick question for you. Do you remember a couple months ago that we did an episode about ELP spin-off bands?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the topic of today's legit album review. Although we're not going to repeat all of it again. We're just going to essentially talk about one of the spin-off bands today. And I'm, of course, talking about Emerson, Lake, and Powell. And for today's album review, we're going to review their only album, their self-titled album from 1986. Now, before we get started, first we need a little bit of perspective, ladies and gentlemen, on who these people are. We have Keith Emerson, who is arguably, without a doubt, one of the greatest keyboardists to ever be in the prog rock era. We have Greg Lake, who is considered one of the greatest frontmen in prog rock, but should be among the best in all of music. And we also have Cozy Powell, who is often considered among the greatest drummers of all time. And what do you get when you have all three of them? You combine them and you get Emerson, Lake, and Powell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember in our episode of ELP spin-off bands, we talked a little bit about them, and we talked a little bit about their only studio album that they released. Well, today we are going to take a much more deeper dive into this album, and we are going to also share our thoughts about if any of our feelings or thoughts about the album changed ever since that episode. So, Aegis, you want to start?
Yeah, overall, I thought it was overall like a decent album. It didn't recapture the greatness of the original Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, and I probably won't listen to this album again.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like on paper it did look like a good lineup, you know, just like with what Aegis said about Asia, but it just felt like it wasn't able to recapture the magic that ELP had, especially in the early 70s. But my argument about that is that it was the 1980s, at least the late 1980s, and everyone pretty much swiftly moved on to the music genres that were going on around that time, like hard rock, heavy metal. There was new wave bands, and then there was also arena rock, which is like another genre that they had back then, you know, like with Guns N' Roses and I would say Metallica, Dokken, etc., etc. So I think they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. If they would have immediately formed it, maybe when Asia was formed, then maybe they would have had at least some decent success.
Don't even get me started again on Asia.
I just did.
I did not fucking like Asia. They had like one or two good songs. That's it.
But the sad thing is that the only two songs that you're talking about are the only ones anyone even fucking knows from Asia. And you said yourself that the lineup they had looked good on paper, but you said they were not able to execute well.
They were a good band playing shitty music.
Yeah, honestly, for me, that's kind of how I see it with Emerson, Lake, and Powell, you know, like, it looked pretty good on paper, you know? I mean, even then, like I said, dude, you got Keith Emerson, you got Greg Lake, and Cozy Powell, man. I want to quickly get a little bit into them because we all know who they are. So basically, the backstory was that Keith Emerson and Greg Lake, after their first breakup, wanted to reform ELP, the original ELP, but Carl Palmer was still under contractual obligations to Asia at the time. So, because of his schedule with them, he was not able to reunite with them. So, their record company label studio whatever pretty much said you guys got to reform a band, you still have obligation to us. So they had to get a brand new drummer, and who would they end up getting? Cozy Powell, who at that time had actually left the Whitesnake, and he was recommended to Greg Lake by Keith Emerson, who Cozy Powell was close friends with, right? And even then, like, all three of these guys, they have really good resumes and backgrounds. Like Keith Emerson, dude, he was an original member of The Nice, and of course was the keyboardist for ELP. Then you got your boy Greg Lake, who was the front man for which band?
Emerson, Lake, and Powell.
Before that.
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer.
Before that.
I don't fucking remember.
King Crimson, you fucking dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you fucking listened to In the Court of the Crimson King or whatever the fuck it is, and you couldn't even remember that he was the front man on it? Anyway, then you got Cozy Powell, who has a huge resume that includes the Jeff Beck group, Rainbow. He was on this band here, Whitesnake, and Black Sabbath too. So that looks like a good lineup, right? Well, the
Yeah,
issue.
to be fair, King Crimson had so many fucking members over the course of its run. It's kind of hard to remember all of them.
And you being the King Crimson guy, I would have fucking figured that you would know exactly who came and went. That's my issue right there, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so anyway, this band here, obviously, there's no coming back because all three of them are gone. They're deceased, all right? Hey, Cozy Powell died in 1998, and both Keith Emerson and Greg Lake passed away in 2016. And this year just so happens to be the 10-year anniversary since Emerson and Lake both died, you know? Cozy Powell, he was really young too, dude. He was only 50 years old when he was killed in an automotive accident. And in fact, there's a story here that says that on April 5th of 1998, he was driving his Saab 9000 at 104 miles per hour in bad weather near Bristol in the M4 motorway in Bristol, which is near London. And it says that he was involved in a affair with a married woman who was having problems with her husband. She was upset, and she actually called him on the phone while he was driving and asked him to come quickly to her house, which was 35 miles away. But as he was driving to her house, she phoned him again and asked, "Where are you?" He informed her he was on his way, and then she heard him literally scream out, "Oh shit," followed by a loud bang. So this woman was still on the phone with Cozy Powell when he fucking crashed.
Damn.
That was, yeah, man, that was so bad, dude. And it says that as that loud bang happened, he got ejected through the windscreen and he was dead.
Well, it tells you don't use your phone while driving and always use your seatbelt.
Yeah, well, it's not only that, but his blood alcohol reading was over the legal limit. He was drunk, too.
Okay, that'll do it too. All three of those.
Yep, no seatbelt, you're drunk, and you're on your phone. Let's see here. And then Keith Emerson, early 2016, it was 10 years since he passed, and we all know that he was battling demons, man, and the demons sadly got the better of him, dude. And he took his own life. It said that in the last few years of his life, he had become depressed, nervous, and very anxious because nerve damage had hampered his playing ability, and he was worried that he would perform poorly at upcoming concerts he was supposed to have in Japan, and he didn't want to disappoint his fans, so he was worried about that. In addition, there was also like his own substance abuse and alcohol abuse too, is what also played a contributing factor in it. So really sad too. Like the one thing that I always thought of is that I always thought when I've listened to ELP at first that I thought it was Keith Emerson who was the front man. He has that aura about him that makes him look like a front man.
Yeah.
And then Greg Lake, man, it'll be 10 years come December, and he also had a pretty bad death too, dude. Like he had cancer. And cancer, dude, it's a bitch. And it was the worst. It was one of the worst kinds too. Pancreatic cancer. Like all the different kinds of cancers are really bad, dude. But I would say breast cancer and pancreatic cancer are the worst ones. Ones because it just feels like with those ones you can never go into remission. You know? Yeah, so with all three of them deceased, man, like Emerson, Lake, and Powell now just these days feel like a complete afterthought to a lot of people. You know, but they
Yeah.
did make some music though, and that's something that should never be forgotten. All right, so let's get into the backstory for this album here. Emerson, Lake, and Powell's only album, which is simply self-titled, was released on June 2nd, 1986. Now, I said in the ELP spin-off bands episode that there was no concrete date that I could find. It was released in June 86. But since then, that was a simple mistake of mine. I did kind of screw up on the date, but it was June 2nd, 1986. It was recorded from 1985 to 1986 at Maison Rouge in London and Fleetwood Mobile in Sussex. The genres were progressive rock, hard rock, and new wave. The label, it was released by Polydor Records, yep, and it was produced by Tony Taverner and Greg Lake himself. Now,
Tony the Tiger.
right. Yeah, and like I said, it didn't really do as well, honestly. Like All Music gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Um, good. But on the other hand, though, Cashbox did call the song "Touch and Go," which we will get into soon, a thunderous, large-scale rock drama. So that's one thing that I found. The album it didn't really do as well. It peaked only at number 35 on the UK albums chart and at number 23 on the US Billboard 200, and it's only certified gold in Canada with 50,000 copies. So I will say this, I do like the art. I do like the artwork.
Yeah, I like the album cover too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I could understand that they were trying to mimic their faces or whatever kind of thing. Doesn't that
Mm-hmm.
remind you of doesn't that kind of remind you a little bit of
Trilogy.
Trilogy, but
Yeah.
instead like in a graphic design cartoonish like style? Alrighty, shall we get into the music?
Yeah.
Alrighty, we are gonna start off with the score. Now, I did take some old notes from my because I had to rewatch my old ELP spin-off bands episode, and I had to rewrite some of the notes that I said for some of the songs on here. So I'm gonna repeat some of them here. The score, I said that it sounded like I was getting ready for a sports event or a game, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense considering that the song at the score was actually used as the arena, intermission, and TV theme song of for New Japan Pro Wrestling from the 1990s to early 2010s. So for that to have a connection to like one of my favorite sports, that I like to watch all the time, it kind of means a little bit. I guarantee you, G Money would have to listen to this song. He'd be like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I could actually see that being a wrestling theme song." The synthesizer, I said, really hit hard, but with what Keith Emerson did, and then it's Greg Lake's voice when you hear him.
Yeah, there's one thing I decided I don't like about the synthesizer. I
Yeah,
like the notes they play, but I just don't like the tone of the synthesizer in a few of these songs on this album, actually.
yeah. That's the funny thing is like Keith Emerson, for one reason, does not strike me as the kind of keyboardist that would use a synthesizer. He just doesn't.
Yeah, if they would use like a different tone or timbre or whatever the fuck you want to call it for the synthesizer, I think it would have been a lot better. But using that tone was not a fan.
Yeah. Yep, you are absolutely correct on that, man. I mean, I did like how it started off. And I did
Yeah,
like how Greg Lake sang to his lyrics. I really did like that.
yeah, I wrote down I liked the beginning, the voc and the vocals. They also did something cool around like 5 minutes 50 seconds to 6 minutes 30 seconds that I thought I liked.
Oh, yep, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Otherwise, the song just kind of falls flat. It's not too impressive. It's kind of boring.
Yeah. Alrighty, so do you want to get into the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your game? All right, you've got it. Take your aim. All right, you shot it. It's been so long. You're welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Welcome
Reference
back, my
to brain
friend,
salad
to the
surgery.
show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come
Come
inside, come
inside, come
inside.
inside.
Dude, I would have loved if Greg Lake decided to add that lyric instead. Like, hey, a throwback from brain salad surgery. Yeah.
All right. Do you know the score? All right, I hear you. I would make a play for sure if I could only get near you. It's been so long. You're welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. What's your name? I can't forget it. I've been there and back again, and I'll never regret it. It's been so long. You're welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And that's it.
Dude, I love how he fucking just added that right there,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, he was probably like, you know what? We gotta at least let everyone know, hey, we're still here. We may have a different drummer, dude, but we still got it. We still got it. And yeah, I'm just listening back to that part on the score, and yeah, you are right, dude. That is pretty good, man. Like, wow. All right, so let's continue on, shall we? We will continue on with learning to fly. And actually, after listening back to it, my feelings really um I feel so connected to the song. Like I really loved how it sounded, especially with Greg Lake singing. But that's just me.
I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to like it, but I can like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do, like I said.
You don't have to have the same opinion on music as me.
But
Hmm.
we're supposed to have the same connections. Um, yeah, listening back to it, like I kind of did grow a huge fondness for it. So, um, okay, so I'll just get into the lyrics, I guess, because I have nothing else to really say. Jungles where tigers sleep, the neon glares and talk is cheap, stairways that led to dreams. You turn around, a siren screams. Energy glows in the heart of the city. You stand in the shadows or reach for the sky. Reach for the sky, dirtbag! This time, the promise is not just illusion. I'm heading for glory. I'm heading to or I'm learning to fly, I meant. Out there, you feel the heat. It's face to face. I cross the street. Help me. I've got a fare. I need a ride, so take me there. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Greg. Like, are you a blonde with double D's? Anyway, hey, everything's moving out there in the city. They murder with kisses and then wonder why. Oh, that's just like the fucking Lamia, right? They drink his blood and they fucking drop dead. All right, let's see here. Everyone's looking out over their shoulder. We've all got to jump, so I'm learning to fly. I see a figure there. Look back at me. I stand and stare, searching for sanity to break the force of gravity. Learning how to fly, learning how to fly, learning how to fly, learning how to fly, learning how to fly. You know, the searching for sanity thing, dude, I still can't find it. And then to break the force of gravity, for some reason, that almost fucking reminded me of Affinity.
Makes me think of the musical Wicked. There's a song
Oh
called
yeah.
Defying Gravity.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so next song that we got is The Miracle. And let me see what I said about it. Oh yeah.
I wrote down I didn't care for it, but I thought it was better than learning to fly.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. In the original episode of the ELP spin-off bands, I actually did not know what to say for it at the time, but I thought it sounded a little upbeatish, you know? And especially around like where the music sounds, you know, where you hear Greg Lake singing Searching for a Miracle. I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
You know, now I finally have the words for it, folks. Back a few months ago, I was like, I don't know what to say, but now for the Miracle, I actually might consider I might actually consider adding that. I'm gonna actually add that to my future download list. I probably won't re-listen to it over and over again, but if it's playing, I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
All right, so your turn.
So here we stand between the gates. Upon the dawn, the eagle waits. His talons shine like daggers on the wings of revolution. In pain, the madman staggers, but there is no solution. Another sword upon a throne, but now the jester laughs alone. Beneath this cloak of treason appears a thousand faces. The truth must stand to reason for those whose heart it chases. Beyond the compass where the lords assemble, beyond the world of mortal man, within the sanctuary, the spectre begins to tremble. They lay a spear upon the plan.
Yeah,
On a sea of diamonds lie a ship of glass. Through the mist the torch passes. Their banners fly in splendor, the ghosts of night descended. With grace their souls surrender, the seal must be defended. Still the dragons reign supreme, breathing fire till we scream. They leave us nothing but our dreams. No shield can save us. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. Stand clear, there's a storm above, and there is something left to fear. All speed before the blade is drawn, and there is blood upon the seed. Let no one yield, we're on the field, where deeds eclipse the sun. Where the brave are told on a thread of gold, the tapestry is spun. As they speak of dreams, their armor gleams. There's calm before the storm, but all can see their destiny. The bishop takes the pawn. In the sky, the arrows fly, each one to its mark. Defend the true lead us through this voyage in the dark, make us strong, know right from wrong, teach us what it's worth, 'cause every heart that aches is what it takes to save our Mother Earth. Lay your life upon the line. It's death for glory every time. You give up yours and I'll keep mine. No shield can save us. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. So here we stand between the gates upon the dawn that eagle waits. His talons shine like daggers on the wings of revolution. In the pain the madman staggers, but there is no solution. Still the dragons reign supreme, breathing fire till we scream. They leave us nothing but our dreams. No shield can save us. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. It's going to take a miracle. We're searching for a miracle. Honestly,
Yeah.
on this album,
Yeah.
say what you will about the music. The music is a bit disappointing, but I think the lyrics are pretty good.
Dude, these lyrics, dude, they almost it feels like they remind me of like the overall themes of Tarkus.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing right here, dude. Like on the wings of revolution, in pain the madman staggers like a dude. Beneath the cloak of treason appears a thousand faces, though truth must stand to reason. I mean, still the dragons reign supreme, breathing fire till we scream. Like, dude, this no, this is basically topic. This here is pretty much singing about like war and conflict, in my opinion, right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, the lyrics are really good, dude. Like, can't remember who was it that. Oh yeah, the Greg Lake would have written all these lyrics, dude. So, dude, he's a great
Okay.
songwriter.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I
Next we
think.
got.
Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna
go ahead.
say another thing. We're searching for a miracle. It's gonna take a miracle. Well, dude, it's just like with the Indigo Child. There's no miracle. There's no hope. There's nothing there, dude. We're all doomed.
Next we got Touch and Go.
I fucking
And
hate it.
I just, huh?
I fucking hate it.
I thought it was the third best song on the album.
No, I think I remember in my review I said the synthesizer hit it as extremely hard as the synthesizer on some of the songs from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It is supposed to be the biggest hit off here, but I just was not a fan. I did watch the music video that they had for it. I will include it in the description below. I actually did like the music video itself. It's pretty much all three members just rocking out in what looks like a metal shop or factory floor, you know? And then
Yeah,
you
I thought
hear,
the. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, and I was gonna say, and you hear the tools or whatever. It sounds like it almost felt like they were using them in the song too, as the like extra background noise, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that synth sound I didn't like. In Touch and Go, I thought it worked. I also liked the melody and the chord progression they used.
You know what? You want to know something funny that I just found on here? So
What?
the main synthesizer of Touch and Go was actually based off of the old English folk tune "Lovely Joan."
Okay.
Yep. Let me see what I can find here. I will include it in the description below as well. Here's what it says about it. Like, here's I'm gonna read the lyrics. Yeah, I'm gonna read the lyrics for "Lovely Joan," and then I'll let you read the lyrics for "Touch and Go." So, "Lovely
Okay.
Joan" is a traditional folk song, a ballad. Oh, and the tune to which it is sung, collected by Ralph Vaughan Williams in 1908 from Christopher J. of Norfolk. Its melody was included in Vaughan Williams' Fantasia on Greensleeves, used in the opera Sir John in Love. Here's what the lyrics say here. A fine young man it was indeed. He was mounted on his milk-white steed. He rode himself all alone till he came to lovely Joan. Good morning to you, pretty maid. And twice good morning, sir, she said. He gave her a wink. She rolled her eye. Says that he to himself, I'll be there by and by. Oh, don't you think those pooks of hay a pretty place for us to play? So come with me like a sweet young thing, and I'll give you my golden ring. Not this ring right here. I wouldn't give it to anyone. Then he pulled off his ring of gold. My pretty little miss, do this behold. I'd freely give it to your maiden head, and her cheeks, they blushed like the roses red. Give me that ring unto my hand, and I will neither stay nor stand, for this would do more good to me than 20 maidenheads, said she. And as she made for the pooks of hay, she leaped on his horse and tore away. He called, but it was all in vain. Young Jonah, she never looked back again. She didn't think herself quite safe. No, not till she came to her true love's gate. She's robbed him of his horse and ring, and left him to rage in the meadows green. Sung by C.J. Ackley, Norfolk, 1908. And it continues on to say, the melody for Lovely Joan was used by Emerson, Lake, and Powell on the track Touch and Go for their main album. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of interesting backstory on that.
Yeah.
Not that it has anything to do with it, but it kind of sounds sweet that they would have influence kind of thing. Another fact that I do want to include is that Emerson, Lake, and Palmer did actually record another version of Touch and Go, which was included in their box set of the Return of the Manticore from 1993. I did not have a chance to listen to that one, honestly, but I'm sure it sounds a little bit different than the Emerson, Lake, and Powell version. I think probably during our break, otherwise, maybe if I have time to do this during my break, our upcoming break, which will be after this song here, I think I might give it a listen and let you guys know what I think of it. So,
Okay.
alrighty. Why don't you go ahead and read these lyrics here?
All right. Man on the street, nowhere to sleep. No time for nothing. No Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe is a luxurious brand of watch.
Oh, yeah.
Pedal to the metal, blow by blow. You're running with the devil as touch and go. They're leaving you nothing and nowhere to go. Just put you in the corner like an old banjo. The strings are breaking, but you can't say no. You're running with the devil as touch and go. Systematic one-man
Yeah.
show. You're caught up in the middle where the four winds blow. No salvation, 20 below. You're running with the devil as touch and go. All systems go friend or foe. It's all depending on the dice you throw. Come without a warning like a UFO. You're running with the devil as touch and go.
Yes, sir.
You see this woman on a TV show. She's dripping in diamonds from head to toe. They make you believe it's a status quo. You're running with the devil, it's touch and go. All systems go friend or foe. It's all depending on the dice you throw. Come without a warning like a UFO. You're running with the devil, it's touch and go. That's it.
Wow, man. I was gonna say, dude, looking at some of this, dude, it almost looks like it's talking about capitalism.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but you're running with the devil. It's touch and go. Like when you're committing one of the seven deadly sins, you are kind of running with the devil, so to speak. Because that's jerking off his ego right there when you commit one of the seven deadly sins, and God knows how many of them I violated or committed. Man, you know what I mean, Mr. Christian man?
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick commercial break here. I'm gonna give that version of ELP a listen, and then we'll get back to you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We shall be back after this brief message from Greg Lake and wherever it's located at. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, shit. Almost had a drink last night. Yeah, you better run to. The hell? Traveling Jack from Clock Tower. I don't drink this shit. I drink Voodoo Rangers. What the fuck?
Rise and shine, Aegis!
How the fuck did you get in my apartment?
You left the door open.
Huh. Dude, seriously? Tapeworm Tussle?
Come on, man, you love this song and you know it. It has that same upbeat personality like my all-time favorite song, Don't Bring Me Down by the Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, I know that. If I hear it one more goddamn time, I'm going to bash my brains in.
What's that, Aegis? I can't hear you, man. If you want to see more content from us that's not posted on this channel, be sure to subscribe to the Intermission group today. Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Radio here along with double finger salute and welcome back to the Roger Radio Show. And welcome back to another legit album review. We are still reviewing Emerson, Lake and Powell's only album, their self-titled album from 1986. Now, before we continue on, we just gave the Emerson, Lake and Palmer version a listen, which was from their 1993 box set, The Return of the Manticore, and oh my god, dude, that sounded way better.
So much better than the Emerson, Lake and Powell version of Touch and Go. So much better. God.
Like, and Keith Emerson was not using a synthesizer. He was using just his normal keyboards.
Yes. And I think that's a lot of what made it so much better.
Right? And here's the thing, though, like, I could understand that they wanted to try and add a different flavor or taste to it so that they would try and differentiate themselves from the original ELP, dude, but, oh my god, dude, the original version. Oh my god, dude. Alright, we are going to continue on, and the next song that we have is called Love Blind, and let me see what I said for it quick. Oh yeah. I was not a huge fan of it, but when I gave it another listen, I thought the music sounded optimistic-like, but I just was not a fan.
I wasn't a fan of it either. I didn't care for it much.
Yeah. But it did, like, have that sense of optimism and hope kind of thing, you know? That's the compliment that I'll give it, you know. I'm gonna give them payment where pay is due, I guess, you know. But like I said, I just don't know, man, you know. That's all I really have to say about it, so. I'll read these lyrics here. I'm a love blind. Where are you taking me this time? Oh, let's see. I'll give you a hint. It's a lightly dimmed room. There are candles around, a trail of roses, a lava lamp with Jimi Hendrix in the background, and then maybe a little bit of On the Bus or whatever the name for the song from Joe's Garage is, you know, after Wet T-shirt contest.
The one that goes da-da-da.
Yeah, you know, that killer guitar solo, and then you'll have an idea of it. Anyway, I got something in my eye, dude. What the fuck? What the fucking... I guarantee you if Beavis ever said that, he would say it like how I just said it, you know? Oh, I'm a love blind. How far are you taking me this time? Well, how far do you want to go? You want to go to second base, third base? Make it a home run. What do you want to
Fifth base.
do? Can't you see that I'm love blind? We all are. So you want to take it all, but you get nothing in the end. That's it, man. That's what I call a cock block right there. Just saying. Don't ever underestimate the price of love you lend. It'll cost you so much pain, it can drive you around the bend. Dude, that is so true. That is so true right there. There. How many times has that fucking happened to me? How many times? I had one really, really good opportunity about, it'll be 10 years ago, my first year at Mesabi Range. There was a gal there who was on the volleyball, basketball, and softball teams at Mesabi Range at the time who was really into me, dude, but I fucking threw it away mainly because it was, in my defense, it was because of all the mental health issues I was having at the time, and I didn't want her to endure that same hell I was dealing with. You know? And I'm sure you can understand yourself, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. If you calculate the damage, the fractures never mend. When you're love blind, love blind. I'm a love blind. Where are you taking me this time? Can't you see I'm in rewind? Oh, dude, he's trying to rhyme, dude. Greg Lake, I think, is trying to get in the hip hop business. Love blind, rewind. I wonder if anyone ever tried a genre called progressive hip hop.
I'm sure that's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's progressive metal. We've had it with our boys. Oh, and then progressive folk with your boys from the Decemberists. Let's see here. Where are you taking me now? I'm a love blind. Where are you taking me this time? Just can't believe that I'm love blind. Where are you taking me now? Oh, I'm a love blind. How far are you taking me this time? Why can't you see that I'm love blind? You think you got it all made, but you've got it all to learn. You just can't seem to realize you own the love you earn. You want to make it all give back and nothing in return. You are beyond reflection. You see the edges burn till you're love blind, love blind. Overall, dude, for me, dude, the song was not as fully bad as this next one that I still cannot wrap my fucking head around, and that is Step Aside.
I really liked the piano on Step Aside.
Dude, let me see. What did I say here? Oh, yeah. I remember in my episode or the episode of ELP spinoffs, I said about the song that it felt like they wanted to strip everything down, make it into like one of them slow dance jams, and Greg Lake was trying to sound like a 20s or 30s blues singer. I don't know if he was fully influenced by, the jazz of the really early days. You know what I'm talking about with the 20s and 30s,
Yeah.
when jazz, I meant, my apologies to all the Jewish people out there for that. My apologies. But you know what I mean. Like, it sounded like he got influenced by the jazz music. But I was like, what the living fuck with this song? I felt maybe they were just trying to like have one of them quick breather kind of things, like when you have one of them really, really slow songs, or not so much like a slow dancing song, but something that just hits the brakes or whatnot. Just be like, okay, let's take
Yeah.
a time out here during this
No,
record.
I wrote down this was tied with Touch and Go in my ratings of this album.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go through lyrics.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Walking down the street last night, I struck a light, but no one could have seen me without second sight. Taking flight, handle me with care, I'm dynamite. Looking for some place to hide, a voice inside said, "Leave this boy alone so you can take a ride. Step aside. If you take me for a fool, I'm cyanide." Just like a raging storm, no one can break the fall. They're trying to take us over. Our backs are against the wall. I try and turn my face, but that's okay, 'cause one way or another, you may find that it will ricochet. Anyway, they say every dog has his day, will have his day. Just like a raging storm, no one can break the fall. They're trying to take us over, but our backs are against the wall. Standing next to Heaven's Gate, just can't relate. Unable to remember who was on the slate, get it straight before it gets too hard to operate. Yeah, operate. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I was gonna say I just saw this right now, literally on my social media feed right now. So, two announcements that I want to quickly make before we continue on. Number one, in a week's time is when Yes's new album Aurora is going to be released,
Ooh.
and then secondly, there was the long lost Animals guitar solo from Pink Floyd's album Animals has been found, and it was the Snowy White contributed guitar solo from Pigs on the Wing, which was only available on the 8-track format version, which is what I'm
Oh,
just finding right now.
they already released two singles from Aurora, the title track and Turnaround Situation.
Yep, I've listened to Turnaround Situation. I was a fan of that one more, honestly. No, I was gonna say, as soon as that album comes out, do you want to review that one?
Yeah,
All right, I'll have to let me see here, figure out the schedule here and whatnot. It'll be next Friday when it comes out, so I don't know, man. Like, if we want to try and do it, like maybe a week after that or something like that, I'm fine with
yeah.
whatever you want to do. I'll have to figure out the
Okay.
schedule. We'll figure that out. But in the meantime, we're watching X Files.
Hmm. Yep.
Next up is Lay Down Your Guns. And what can I say about this song that hasn't been said? It sounded so depressing when I looked back on my notes. It sounded like a love song, but instead of being like, I just want to be with you forever, you're talking about your gun.
Hmm.
And I feel like when I look at the lyrics, when I read the lyrics, I feel like they were influenced by the themes in Tarkus.
All right.
Like I
Yeah,
said, I
I
could
didn't
be
really
wrong.
care.
What
I
did you
thought it
think
was
of this
like
song?
I thought it was like the fifth best song, which puts it toward the tail end of the album.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't all too impressed with it.
Yeah, I wasn't really impressed either, so. But I did like the lyric. I did love the lyrics that were on here, though.
Right?
All right. Lay down your guns. I come in peace. No need to run, my friend, into the trees. We've been through this so much before, but still we get it wrong. Lay down your guns and feel no regret. Life is too short, my friend. Best we forget. No matter how we rise and fall and how our love is torn, we'll stand up high above the storm. And still our passion calls, and the juices fall like rain from the sky. We have to understand where the flame that feeds our desire. God knows we must survive. Lay down your guns and hold on tight. We'll prove the world is wrong and get it right. No need for you to worry now. The best is yet to come. Lay down your guns and stand up strong. And though the cut is deep, we can heal it. Trust me and keep your spirits high. It should be easy now that we've talked it over, and God knows that we have to try. Lay down your guns, just don't say goodnight. We'll prove the world is wrong and get it right. And even in your darkest dreams, some things you can't foresee. Lay down your love, lay it all on me. Now this is pretty much this here is pretty much about war, and trying to figure
Yeah.
out or try to understand the process of healing, especially after something so incredibly devastating. you know. I would say this though, honestly, on the download, dude. This sounds like a really good motivational song that could be used for Ukraine. Honestly, they're all
Yeah.
about peace and love out there in Ukraine, man.
So next two songs are instrumental songs, and they also happen to be my two favorite songs on the album.
Dude, I remember I had so much I had to say about the next one, and it is Mars, the Bringer of War.
That was my favorite fucking song on the album.
Oh my god, dude. I looked back on my notes and I actually was laughing so hard when I saw the what I said, dude. I said in the original episode of the spin-off bands that Mars the Bringer of War to me sounded like if the movies Phantom of the Opera and Mars Attack had a love child and this song was the result of it. Oh, and I don't know if I don't know if you've listened to the ending of Mars the Bringer of War and the end of Tarkus, but they almost sounded similar to me.
Yeah.
Just with like how it went out, like dun 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 dun, dun, or whatever. So, a note that I do want to make about this song was that this I clicked on the links to this, and apparently Mars the Bringer of War was inspired by a 7 movement orchestral suite called The Planets.
Oh shit, I know the planets.
Yep,
It was a suite that had like one song for each planet. I can't remember who did it though.
it was Gustav Holst.
Gustav Holst. Okay.
Yep, he was a English composer, arranger, and teacher. And actually, this suite right here, The Planets, is actually considered his best work.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was written between 1914 and 1917. Let's take a look at the let's take a look at the structures here. I know there's like 7 of them, and these are pretty good names here to say the least. Mars the Bringer of War, and I'm just gonna read this right here for the structure of what they did here. Mars is marked Allegro and is in a relentless ostinato for most of its duration. It opens quietly.
Allegro is just so you know, Allegro is a tempo, I think is like fast. And then an ostinato is like a repeated like musical thing. Like a lot of
Yeah,
the music I compose has like a repeating ostinato in the bass. So it'll be like da 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 da
yeah,
da da over and over the course of the song.
yep. Let's see here. It opens quietly. The first 2 bars played by percussion, harp, and colegno strings. Um. Oh yeah, it's the bowed string instruments that you use like in violins and all that.
Yeah.
The music builds to a quadruple forte dissonant climax, although Mars is often thought to portray the horrors of mechanized warfare. Well, when you're listening to the fucking song, it makes sense. You know? And for this song to come after Lay Down Your Guns, dude, like, although, yeah, although Mars is often thought to portray the horrors of mechanized warfare, it was completed before the First World War started. Oh, isn't that a coincidence right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. The composer, Colin Matthews, writes that for Holst, Mars would have been an experiment in rhythm and clashing keys, and its violence and performance may have surprised him as much as it galvanized its first audiences. Short comments, harmonic dissonances abound, often resulting from clashes between moving chords and static pedal points, which he compares to a similar effect at the end of Stravinsky's The Firebird.
Ooh, I love Stravinsky and I love the Firebird.
Yeah, Igor
One of my
Stravinsky.
favorite composers, actually. In particular, I really like The Rite of Spring.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Yep, compares to the similar effect of that and adds that although ballad music had been written before, notably by Richard Strauss and Ian Helden Leben. It had never expressed with such violence and sheer terror. Oh, there's even a link. There's even an audio link to it on the Wikipedia page. And yeah, I'll have to give that a listen then. So let's see the structures. There's Mars, the bringer of war, and then Venus, the bringer of peace, which kind of makes sense, like us males, we always tend to get like violent or whatever. Like riddle me this. So, you know the old saying about where women and men are from. Can you explain which planets they are?
Uh, shit. I remember when I was a kid, the kids would be like, "Oh, girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Boys go to college to get more knowledge."
Yeah. Well, here's
I
the
think it was
thing.
like men are from Mars and women are from Venus or something like that.
Yeah. And it makes kind of sense. Like women are supposed to like be the peacemakers, but we're the war makers. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Let's see. The other ones that we have is for the structures is Mercury, the winged messenger, Jupiter, the bringer of jollity, Jollity.
Yeah, I think that's Jollity.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then my most favorite planet here, Saturn, the bringer of old age. Uranus, the magician, Neptune, the mystic. I don't know about you, man. I would like to do a concept album involving this stuff, honestly. This actually
Yeah.
looks like this would make some great concepts right here. And I think for the lyricism, we gotta bring a little bit of that Greg Lake mentality, just that oomph.
Yep.
Oh, and also we gotta bring a tiny bit of Roger Waters in it too, dude, because like as the way I see it, the two best songwriters, Roger Waters and Greg Lake, without a doubt. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really, right there for this stuff. Um, Overall, it was an interesting song to say the least. Like really good instrumentation here.
Yeah. And then we got the Loco-Motion, which is my second favorite song on the album.
Here's the thing, like I remember looked at the when I looked at what I said in the original episode, I said that YouTube Music for some reason had to include the lyrics from Grand Funk Railroad's version, but the Loco-Motion is an instrumentation. So why would you still add the lyrics on it?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but it's another instrumentation. But I was like, dude, why did I feel like I was on a coke binge for like how many days being
Hmm.
chased by an avalanche? Doesn't that not sound like the type of song you would listen to if you're on a coke binge?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, it was extremely fast paced to say the least. I thought it was pretty good. What did you think?
Of the Loco-Motion.
Yeah,
Let me play it again, but if I remember right, it was my second favorite song on the album.
yeah, yep. And if I remember correctly, the Loco-Motion is supposed to be a new dance move too. I've never heard of it, but I've listened to the Grand Funk Railroad version, and I really loved it. I really loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, fuck. I think if I remember, I want to make sure that, yep, I was right. I was right. It was Grand Funk Railroad. Yep.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Mars, the Bringer of War and the Loco-Motion, I would have given this album a lower score than I will give it at the end of this video.
Oh, yeah, I hear you, man. I'm very interested to see what my rating's going to be at this point right now. But we got one more song to go through, ladies and gentlemen, and this one here is actually my most favorite one here, and it's Vacant Possession. Like it for me, it was the only one that was fully enjoyable for me per se. But when I
I
look
put
back on all the songs that I've listened to, there are some of them that I really did grow a fondness to. So
I didn't much care for Vacant Possession. There was some cool stuff here and there, but overall, I didn't care for it.
yeah, I thought it was a kind of a nice ending right there, or ending track from me. So, you want to get into the lyrics?
Yeah. All right. Tell me where on this earth can I stand just an ordinary man? Is this storm or confusion? Sooner or later, no debate, you're on the ice and in the hands of fate. Way out in space, lost in flight like an arrow in the night. Just fly on till you lose us, beyond the point of no return. You can never cross the bridges that you burn. So tell me, what do you say when all is said and done? I can see it in your eyes, there's thunder in the sun. Oh, where do you sleep, forever on the run? Love's become a stranger to you and I. Deliver us from this danger, it's do or die. Any fool can see it as they walk on by. I'm leaving the lights on. Vacant possession, vacant possession. Time rushes by like the wind, and it leaves you standing here in this room full of memories. And as I watch the snowflakes fall, your love turns cold like a shadow on the wall. Night after night in this room, I feel the walls are closing in. They just squeeze my existence. Maybe or nor I design, the bullet cuts the joker every time. So tell me, what do you say when all is said and done? I can see it in your eyes, there's thunder in the sun. Oh, where do you sleep forever on the run? Love's become a stranger to you and I. Deliver us from this danger, it's do or die. Any fool can see it as they walk on by. I'm leaving the lights on, vacant possession. I'm in a new land, but I can't see the lights. I want to bring it in, but I'm tired of the endless flights. So help me like a pilot in the night. Love's become a stranger to you and I. Deliver us from danger, it's do or die. Any fool can see it as they walk on by. I'm leaving the lights on, vacant possession. Love's become a stranger to you and I. Deliver us from danger, it's do or die. Any fool can see it as they walk on by. I'm leaving the lights on, vacant possession, vacant possession. That's it.
Okay. Hell yeah, man. All right. So, final thoughts about this album. For me, dude, like, sure, is all the music bad? I don't think so. There's like some pretty good stuff that's on here, and I would encourage you all to
Yeah.
give it a listen when you have the opportunity. Like, sure, they were not able to recapture the same magic that Emerson, Lake, and Palmer did, but I think Emerson, Lake, and Powell did do some stuff that was pretty good. Sure, they were not able to recapture all the magic, but at the end of the day, like they still leave a mark in the prog rock movement. And if you're looking for like a hidden gem, that's like a give or take thing. I encourage you to check this album out. For me, my most favorite song would obviously be Vacant Possession. I've started growing a much more appreciation for the songs Learning to Fly and The Miracle. So those would be my other top favorites. The songs that I just was not a fan of, I was not a fan of Step Aside, which is number one on my most dislike. And then I think it would be Love Blind would be number two. And for me, for this album, I would give it 5 out of 10. There
Yeah.
were some good moments that I did like to give it at least a good five.
All right. Yeah. My least two favorite songs were probably Learning to Fly and The Miracle. My favorite ones were the two instrumental ones, Mars the Bringer of War and the Loco-Motion. And honestly, if it wasn't for those two instrumental songs, I'd have given it like maybe like a 5.2. But with those songs there, I got to give it like a 5.7.
Yeah. I think for me, I think if Keith Emerson did not use the synthesizer at all, instead used the traditional keyboards throughout all of it,
Yes,
I guarantee you it would have I guarantee you it would have did so much better.
it
But
would
then
have.
at
It would have
the end
been
of the
so much better with just regular keyboard.
yeah, but then when I look back on it, considering the fact that it was Emerson, Lake, and Powell, and they pretty much would have been like a copycat band of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, honestly, because like we've listened to Emerson, Lake,
Yeah,
and Palmer stuff with like the normal keyboards. And considering that Emerson, Lake, and Powell were in the mid to late 1980s when people were using synthesizers everywhere like this, I guess they wanted to give it a try to see could we really trend in with this stuff. But I guess Emerson, Lake, and Powell for me just was there at the wrong place at the wrong time. Had they formed in, say, 1981 or 1982, then I get it, and I would say they probably would have did better. But then, of course, Cozy Powell probably would not have been in the bands that he was in at that point if he would have immediately formed this band right away, like I was saying. But it's a memorable band, Like sure they only released one album, but is there something about these one album wonders that make it special, unique? What is it, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know in the comments. Man, there's something about them that has a uniqueness to it. I'll give
yeah.
you that. But there's no denying that all three members are considered the best in their genres. Like Greg Lake's considered one of the best songwriters and frontmen in prog rock. Keith Emerson's considered one of the best keyboardists in prog rock. And Cozy Powell is considered one of the greatest drummers to ever live. So if you guys want something that's a little different, I encourage you to give this album a listen. The link to it will be in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. What are your favorite songs from these guys? And do you guys have any suggestions that we should talk about? Leave it in the comments below.
Any musicians you know of that just released one album and dropped off the face of the earth?
Oh, that's a good point right there, yeah. Let us know if you know of any other bands that did that, yeah. Released one album and then just fell off the face of the earth. I know one, for me personally, 3, which was after Emerson, Lake, and Powell, which will be the subject of a future podcast. While you're at it, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell to be notified when we upload, and you'll win a free pack of PBRs. While you're at it, subscribe to the Interrobang group as well. And also follow me on all my social media. The links to everything will be in the description below. And also, if you are an independent artist, musician, or band who wants to be interviewed and to promote your music, email rogerrhodes90@yahoo.com. You got any final thoughts, Aegis?
Nope.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, until next time, ta-ta for now.
Peace.